So sharing some free resources. As you know, I work with Life with Cancer. We are a nonprofit based out of the Northern Virginia area, and we do offer, free classes, fitness, mind body classes that are streamed online and in person. We're seeing more of a return to person, and that really does help with building community connections and helping with people feel less isolated, which we know can come along with experiencing a diagnosis like this. You can see that we offer over 23 classes that fit this evidence-based framework, so you don't have to do a lot of the legwork and thinking about, okay, what do I have to do? You have enough on your plate. You have some resources that are free that you could get started with today. Additional resources that we have throughout our cancer community. We are a small, knit small group of people. We know each other. We work well together. We have a sister organization called Two Unstoppable, and they also have strength training programs, free classes that are available, fitness connections, and more. There's a wonderful organization called Moving Through Cancer, which also provides a lot of basic user-friendly information to help guide and steer you on this process. And then there's myvictory.com, which is like the Peloton of cancer exercise for survivors. They have over 2,000 free on-demand classes available on this platform. All right, so we're going to dive into taking what we know, our why. This is important because it's giving us the hope molecules. We know that we need to be walking. We know that we need to be strength training. We know that we need to be doing something for stress reduction and connection, right? So we're going to dive deeper into the behaviors for success. And that is really making the decision to own your health. You're going to be in the driver's seat. You're the boss. And so exploring what resonates with you is really important. We know that you can do a lot of different movements and different varieties of movements, but the most important thing is that you are continually looking for things that are going to keep you in this practice, okay? Identifying your barriers. Maybe it's, you need more support. You're not sure that you can confidently do this without supervision or guidance. Getting with your doctor, finding out how you can either work with a physical therapist, an occupational therapist, maybe it's a pelvic floor physical therapist, and then they'll, address any pain or dysfunction in the body, get you to a place where you can come back into a community setting with confidence and ease, depending on, what's happening with you. I encourage you to find your balance. Life can get really busy, especially when you have tons of doctor's appointments and you're just in the thick of things. So really having conversations with your loved ones, eliminating the things that aren't adding value to your life and trying to reduce those stressors as much as possible is really important. And that takes practice. It takes, sometimes getting with a therapist to help you navigate how to have these difficult conversations with people that you care about most, or having those conversations with work. And it comes back to setting up those boundaries, creating that personal space for you to help you prioritize your health and make this a part of your daily routine. I do think that, yes, this is serious, but as long as you can keep it playful and joyful, that is an aspect that helps keep us young and curious and engaged, right? So finding out those things that spark that little, hey, I think I like this, I'd like to do it again, is really critical to helping you stay consistent, right? The mental toughness piece, can be a really tough time for a lot of folks. And, we understand that's more than you know. And so it is really important to kind of tune into your thoughts and establish a practice that helps create that awareness of the things that you're telling yourself, so that you can get out of that negative thinking. You can reframe it and try to make some positive connections in your brain that help you get out of maybe some unhealthy thinking patterns, or naturally being worried that keeps you stuck in that stress response, right? Because it's not doing your body any good. I always think getting with a buddy, having a trusted friend, confidant is important in this process. somebody that you can walk and talk with, or just call and connect and hold you accountable can be really important as you start to create a movement practice for yourself. I do always want to remind people to limit alcohol intake, because we know that there's a lot of empty calories that come with these drinks, and they're not particularly going to help you stay clear and focused, have energy to try to take on some of these more challenging movement patterns, and it'll just disrupt your routine that you're trying to set for yourself. I think learning to hear your excuses comes back to having a practice of sitting quietly. It could be in prayer. It could just be, in an area of quiet that you create for yourself. And it could just be as little as coming back to your breath, or noticing a color on a particular piece of art, or getting outside and connecting in nature, because it's really grounding and helps us manage our stress level. So these are kind of some of the things that I work with my clients in the coaching capacity, and just helping them pull out what's meaningful and what they'd like to focus on first. So before we go into our 3-part breath and calm ourselves for the evening, I'd like you to ask yourself, how would you like things to be different in your life regarding a movement practice? Would you like to start with walking, or maybe a dance class? What would you like to get focused on? And what could you do to make it so small that you couldn't say no to it? That's kind of a healthy way to get started, is just making it micro-manageable. So how do you make it so easy that you can't say no? And remember, this is your movement medication. If you skip it, it's going to cause problems further down the line. So we wouldn't skip our normal medication that's prescribed to us by our physician. So if you can get into that thought process, that you're, when you're learning to listen to your excuses, that you're becoming more aware of that, and interrupting that thought and saying, is this going to help me get to where I want to be? And how do I make it so easy I can't say no?